Hello, this is Basic 3, Unit 7, Part 8, Number 3. We are going to check countable and non-countables or uncountables now. Okay? A countable noun are things you can count. This means you can use numbers to calculate them. For example, there are 3 bananas. Those are 3 bananas. Also, we can use a singular or plural. There is an apple. This one is the apple. And the other example, there is a banana. Here we have a little explanation. When the first part of the noun is a vowel, for example, apple, we use an to means one apple. There is an apple. And we use the letter A when the noun begins with the consonant. For example, there is a banana. Okay, those are the correct forms. And for example, another one, there are 2 apples. We can use the plural, the number, and obviously the verb to be. But what about the uncountable things? Uncountable are things you cannot count. But how is that possible? Of course, we can count things, but the idea of the uncountable means we need to identify ideas, abstract qualities, or objects that are too small to count. For example, if we have rice, for example, when we arrive at the market, we don't say, please give me 2,000 rices. No, we said, give me 1 kilo of rice. Okay? So, at the uncountable nouns, we use it only in singular. For example, there is rice in the kitchen. What is the quantity? I don't know, but there is rice. Okay? For example, when we arrive, for example, to quantities, there is 1 kilogram of rice. As you can see, the noun is in singular. For example, there are 2 kilograms of rice. The noun is in singular again. Okay? Uh, and in English, we have obviously the questions. In English, a quantifier is a word that indicates a number, countable nouns, or an amount, uncountable nouns. To ask quantities, you need to distinguish. For example, with countable nouns, you use how many, or as you can see, we can use also do you have any? Okay, and there is an example. How many apples are there? We know that there are apples. How many? I don't know. There is an apple. Or there are 2 apples. Okay? And for example, in uncountable nouns, for example, we could use how much. How much milk is there? We cannot milk. We can not count milk as drops, for example. Okay? So we said there is some milk. Okay? Or in more negative, there is any milk. But we are going to check again. Okay? So here we have some quantities. For example, with countable nouns, you can use there is and there are, depending if you refer to singular or plural. In other words, if you refer to one or many, for example, There is an apple in the bag. So, singular, just one. There isn't any apple, singular. The any means no one. Okay? It's supporting the idea of isn't. There are many apples in the bag. Many means plural. Many apples. How many? I don't know. Maybe two, maybe three, maybe 1,000, etc. etc. There are some cookies on the table. Plural. Some, for example, maybe two cookies, something like that. There aren't any cookies. Okay? It's used as plural. Okay? There is no problem. And when with uncountable nouns, you can use only there is. Why? Because the noun is a singular noun. Okay? You refer only to singular conceptions. For example, there is a lot of butter in the fridge. A lot of means 110 butter, something like that. Okay? Singular, butter. There is some oil at home. Okay? This is singular. Use is not uses. Okay? We only use the noun as singular. There is some oil at home. And there isn't any bread is singular. But why is bread uncountable? Well, this is uncountable because we can use the word, for example, slice, okay, to count the bread. For example, I need two slices of bread to make a sandwich. Okay, the bread is an uncountable, and remember that is like the bimbo's bread. There are slides. Okay, so this is going to be your next topic. About to complete the chart with the food words from the exercise 1 at the part B. Uh, Wait a minute. Where you have this kind of a square, you can complete, and if you want, you can do it with vocabulary at the beginning. For example, candies, pizza, etc. etc. You can rearrange the list. The next homework or the next activity is that you have to check the answers or to circle the words in this part. Maybe let's just make some or any, we have some or any, etc. etc. Okay? And you are going to, in the last part, to check with your imaginary best friend or your friend if you have it in the phone. You are going to ask, what do you often eat for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner? Okay? And you are going to write uh, the about the vocabulary. Okay? It's better. I know that someone of you, for example, eat chilaquiles at breakfast. No, maybe you have to write about the vocabulary of eggs, fruit, vegetables. Okay? Simple vocabulary, please. And you are going to write about your friends. That is this square. You are going to write the name of your friends, and obviously the meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner. Okay, and this is going to report it, this last one, um, and a little audio, please. So you're going to make or to record an audio about the last activity. I think the maximum 5 minutes. Okay, and please, you have to check your workbook. You can complete the first part of the unit 7. More specifically, is let me check the page. mm, the page 49. Okay, page 49. I remember you have to send the link and the photos about your homework, please. And this is going to be this last this part. We are going to check more vocabulary uh, through the next activities. Okay, thanks.